Good Monday evening, June 9th, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. The Chelan County Sheriff's Office Behavioral Health Unit is hosting several town hall meetings about navigating grief this week. The Washington Department of Ecology has fined Washington-based fruit juice and snack company Treetop $20,000 for failing to use the minimum required amount of recycled materials in their packing last year. Expect hot and breezy weather through Wednesday with a cool down Thursday and into this weekend. All your local weather details are straight ahead. Exactly 1 week after Paityn, Evelyn, and Olivia Decker were found murdered near a remote Chelan County campsite, police say they're processing a raft of information with still no sign of Travis Decker, the girl's father and suspected killer. The Chelan County Sheriff's Office says as of 6 p.m. Sunday, primary responsibilities in the search for the 32-year-old Travis Decker were handed over to federal authorities. The Wenatchee military veteran took his 5, 8, and 9-year-old daughters for a court-approved visit on May 30th. He's believed to have killed all 3 children by asphyxiation before disappearing from the murder scene. The sheriff's office says the changeover allows local police forces to recuperate from a week of grueling searches in the Chelan County backcountry. The murders have sparked national attention and a wide-ranging manhunt. Roads, trails, and campsites in the Cascades that were closed during the search have now been reopened to the public. Travis Caleb Decker is described as 5 feet 8 inches tall with black hair and brown eyes. He was last seen wearing a light-colored shirt and dark shorts. At last sighting, his hair was long and he wore a goatee. He has several identifying arm and torso tattoos. Anyone seeing him is urged to call 911 immediately and not to approach him. The Chelan County Sheriff's Office Behavioral Health Unit is hosting several town hall meetings about navigating grief this week. The events are part of the response to the murder of the Decker sisters 1 week ago. The workshops will be led by Julie Boyer of Pacific Northwest Support Services, who specializes in trauma care for first responders, children, and families. Topics include supporting families through loss, community resource for healing, age-appropriate ways to talk about death, and how children process grief. The first town hall is tonight in Leavenworth, and another will be held tomorrow in Chelan, and then a third in East Wenatchee on Wednesday. Each event begins at 6:30 p.m., and more information can be found on the NCWLIFE website. Federal immigration agents detained 25-year-old Douglas Gramajo Gomez outside the Chelan County Courthouse following his sentencing on June 4th. Our media partner, the Wenatchee World, reports that the arrest is raising alarms among immigrant advocates and the court system. Rachel Pashastan with Wenatchee for Immigrant Justice says Washington's Keep Washington Working Act prohibits civil immigration arrests inside or within 1 mile from a courthouse. Judge Kristen Ferreira said the Department of Homeland Security must have a judicial warrant to make such an arrest. Prosecutors say only publicly available court dates were shared with ICE. The Chelan County Sheriff's Office says it was unaware of the operation and are now calling for a meeting with court and county leaders. At the time of his arrest, Gramajo Gomez had just been sentenced to 12 months in jail after pleading guilty to a charge of third-degree rape. The hot asphalt may have left some paws a little tender, but the Pashastan Pet Parade marked the little town's semi-official start of summer. Pets and their people walked the route on Saturday from the Pashastan Legion Hall to the public library, with accompaniment from the Cascade High School Marching Band. The event takes place every year the first Saturday in June. Members of the Pashastan Town Council told NCWLIFE News the quirky local tradition has been going on for decades, but none of them were really sure exactly how or when it got its start.
At least 45 years. We're not 100% sure on how many years, but it's at least that.
We've had horses, chickens,
goats,
llamas, goats,
ducks,
cats,
and
chickens,
those little carriers.
Yeah.
It's so old school in today's modern technological world,
Yes.
and it's getting the community together and just having fun and celebrating community.
And it's Pashastan, and Pashastan is amazing. So it's a fun opportunity for us to all get together.
And so this ties in with the library, so they do the summer reading program. They kind of tie all that in with the summer reading program, so.
It's a little bit of a kickoff for that, I think.
Yeah.
You know, school, graduation was last night. It's the end of the school year. Kind of jump into summer. Join us.
Yeah, join us. The more the merrier, and
Yeah.
we would love a variety of pets. And
Kids.
And
Yeah.
kids, and
You don't have to have a pet.
You don't have to have a pet.
that's true.
We give out popsicles. The library, they're over in the shade now doing a little make your own button activity, so that's fun, and it's a good chance to just get out and listen to some great music because these guys were really great.
When we come back, free financial aid information sessions are being offered next week around North Central Washington to help families and students navigate the process. And on Saturday, Pibis Public Market in Wenatchee unveiled its Railcar entertainment stage with an afternoon ribbon cutting. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Central Washington Water understands the power of healing waters. If part of your wellness routine includes hot heat from a sauna, Central Washington Water now carries indoor and outdoor infrared and hot rock saunas by Tilo. Research shows there are many health benefits to a cold plunge after a good workout or relaxing time in your sauna. Harness the power of water in a hot spring spa, plug-and-play spas, a Tilo sauna, or a cold plunge tub. Stop by Central Washington Water, your wellness experts.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Call Alpine Air Heating and Cooling today. Your comfort is their priority.
Welcome to the summer of good. Good people, good taste, good vibes, and good, well, everything. When you're ready for some old-fashioned good, Abby's is your place. We've been celebrating summers around the P&W for over 60 years. At Abby's, good is a legendary tradition. Here's a good-looking pizza, guaranteed to bring some summer smiles. And right now, it's on sale, so it's good for your wallet too. This giant is loaded with toppings and can feed up to 6 people. Order at abbys.com. Give us a call or just drop by. It's the summer of good, only at Abby's Legendary Pizza.
The Washington Department of Ecology has fined Washington-based fruit juice and snack company Treetop $20,000 for failing to use the minimum required amount of recycled materials in their packaging last year. Treetop, which operates a Wenatchee plant on Highway 97A, was one of 23 companies fined, a combined total of $277,000 for violations. State law requires companies that produce beverage containers to include at least 15% recycled content in their packaging. Treetop is accused of using no recycled content at all in packages shipped in 2024. All the other companies cited have 30 days to either pay their fines or file for an appeal with the State Pollution Control Hearings Board. NCWLIFE News reached out, but Treetop did not immediately respond to comment. Free financial aid information sessions are being offered next week around North Central Washington to help families and students navigate the process. The sessions are a partnership between the Apple STEM Network, the North Central Washington Tech Alliance, and Wenatchee Valley College. Support is available for both high school graduates and adult students returning to education in Chelan, Douglas, and Okanagan counties. Upcoming information sessions include one at Eastmont High School on June 11th and at Wenatchee Valley College on June 25th, and other opportunities also are coming up in Oroville and Omak. The Apple STEM Network says early applications are encouraged, though students can still apply for financial aid beyond June 30th, and there are still significant funding opportunities available. On Saturday, Pibis Public Market in Wenatchee unveiled its Railcar stage with an afternoon ribbon cutting. It's a new centerpiece for live entertainment at the riverfront gathering spot. But as market manager Travis Hornby told NCWLIFE's Dan Kuntz, the materials used to build the stage have a special place in Pibis history.
This is one of the original visions, but you know, money doesn't go forever. And so we spent money on other things like the patio on the east side of the building. And finally, after 13 years, here we are able to put the final touches on the west side parking lot.
Originally, all those years ago, the Railcar stage was movable. There was the old set of rails that was used by the Pibis foundry when it was a steel mill. But when you redid the parking lot a couple of years ago, the rails went out, and that made that portability impossible. So this kind of was forced on you in a really good way.
In a really good way. So I'm actually standing on the rail car, you're standing on the new construction. And so yes, we incorporated that as part of the historical piece of this building. It was a little bit more work to get that done, but we think it's pretty great to have that feature. And if you want to look at the beam behind me, or the post behind me, that was the original floor of the foundry, that giant pieces of machinery that built steel that helped build our community and the dams. So that's kind of nice that we could repurpose those and get those into the design of the stage.
It ties in perfectly with Pibis.
Yeah.
Coming up next, data from the Washington Department of Transportation shows more than 1,300 crashes happen annually within highway work zones. We'll have more on that in tonight's feature story. A red flag warning is in place through Wednesday. I'll have all the details coming up in your full local weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
The joys of sitting in traffic, burning gas, donating your paycheck to parking enforcement. Or you could join us this June for Ride Transit Month. On Link, you ride for free, anytime, anywhere. Plus, Link's electric buses run on clean local hydropower. Thanks, Columbia River. So while you're saving some cash, you're also saving the planet. So hop on board Link for Ride Transit Month. Stress-free, wallet-friendly, eco-smart.
Between juggling groceries, preparing meals, and lending a helping hand, you're a hero without a cape. But who's there to support you? Aging and Adult Care honors caregivers like you, the relatives, friends, and neighbors, helping loved ones remain safely at home. Aging and Adult Care offers chore services, respite, personal care, and more. Serving Chelan, Douglas, Grant, Lincoln, Adams, and Okanagan counties, call Aging and Adult Care at 1-800-572-4459 for caregiver support.
Data from the Washington Department of Transportation shows more than 1,300 crashes happen annually within highway work zones, and speeding is one of the main causes of those accidents. It's been nearly 2 months since Washington launched a speed camera program to help make those zones safer. From the Olympia News Bureau and in tonight's feature story, Murrow News fellow Albert James checked in on the rollout of the cameras and asked whether drivers have noticed a difference.
The work zones are dangerous places in themselves, right? And then obviously having people drive through those work zones at a very high rate of speed also increases the danger.
Kyle Miller leads WashDOT's Work Zone Speed Camera program. Created by the legislature in 2023, the program places trailer-mounted cameras in active highway work zones to catch drivers speeding and slow them down. The first camera launched in April, and Miller says another one rolled out this past week. The mobile cameras have moved around numerous zones across western Washington, including construction on Interstate 90 and U.S. Highway 12, and this I-5 work along Joint Base Lewis McChord.
Anywhere where there's a worker, WashDOT construction, some sort of project, we are able to use this solution.
According to State Patrol data, over 2,600 infractions have been issued since the program started. The vast majority of them are first-time violations that have no fine, and a little over 100 were second-time violations with a fine of $248. WashDOT is still compiling and analyzing data as the program is in its beginning phases, but work crews report a difference in driver behavior.
When people see those signs, they appear to be slowing down from the feedback that I'm getting from the field itself, which is great. It's great news.
Drivers through the JBLM work zone I spoke with say they support the idea of having a camera slow people down for safety, but a lot of them didn't even know a camera could be here. You haven't noticed that speed camera under the bridge before?
No, I have not. This is the first I've heard of it.
I haven't noticed the speed camera, hadn't been looking for it.
I've never seen it before. It just looks, again, what she said, kind of just looks like what is a part of the construction that is every day.
Drivers say while it's important to follow speed limits regardless of a camera, they want to see more clear signage where one could be.
If your regular speed on the freeway is 70, you know, you're going to keep going 70, and especially if there's nothing that is like significantly to show you that there's construction and, you know, a speed camera and whatnot.
WSDOT says they put up as many signs as possible as they want people to know to slow down. As the rollout continues, Miller says more cameras will be launched next month, with work zones all across the state being discussed as new locations. And as summer travel coincides with more road maintenance, it's in everyone's best interest to slow down.
This is not just about the worker safety. It's also about the traveling public that goes through it, because ultimately we really do want to make sure that everybody can come home safe.
In DuPont, I'm Albert James reporting.
Time now to take a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. It was definitely a hot one. 92 Saturday, 96 our high temperature yesterday, and boy, more of the same today as we look outside our weather window from this afternoon down at the Wenatchee Valley from our tower camera up on Wenatchee Heights, and nothing but crystal clear blue skies out there today and plenty of warm weather. We'll talk about that in a second, but this is what we have looking forward the next couple of days, and we're going to see some winds pick up, especially tomorrow afternoon, where we could see winds about 10 to 20 miles an hour, maybe a little gusty, but I think our windier day will come on Wednesday when we'll see west-southwest winds 15 to 30 with gusts possibly 25 to 45 miles an hour. It is going to be hot and breezy, and that has prompted the National Weather Service to post a red flag warning, and it's from today into tomorrow afternoon. And here we go for Leavenworth, Wenatchee, into Chelan, over to Cooley Dam, and all the way down into Ellensburg. It's not just the hot weather, the hot temperatures, and the wind. It's also low relative humidity. And we're at about 20% today, and I expect that to be about 18 to 19% tomorrow. So boy, definitely fire danger over the next 2, maybe even 3 days here in North Central Washington. Here we go unofficially. We set a new record today, 100 degrees. Our old record 99, and that was set back in 2015. Look at that. That's where we should be right now. 76 for our normal high temperature. Our low was almost as high as our normal high this morning. We were at 72 for our low. 54 is our normal low temperature, and 43 our record low set in 1988. Sunrise 5:04 this morning, and it sets tonight at 8:56. Not much relief as we get you into Tuesday. A little bit better than today. We're still almost at 100 degrees. Moses Lake, Ephrata, and Quincy will cool off, if you could call it that, down into the mid-90s tomorrow. So 96 here in the Wenatchee Valley, 95s Eniat, Chelan, and up into Omak, and still even hot in the upper elevations. Lake Wenatchee 92 and mid-90s as well for Leavenworth and for Cashmere tomorrow afternoon. So it's going to be another hot one. Taking a look at what we can expect tonight, mostly clear skies. Our weather driver, this area of high pressure out in the Pacific, it's been providing crystal clear skies and all those warm temperatures, upper 60s for lows once again tonight. So it's not much relief for folks without air conditioning out there. Mostly sunny on Tuesday. And here we go, a little bit breezy in the afternoon. Still going to be hot tomorrow with high temperatures in those mid-90s. So once again, 20 degrees above where we should be on Tuesday. For Wednesday, a little stronger wind here in central Washington. We'll still be hot on Wednesday with high temperatures in the low 90s. So you're noticing a slow cool down as we get into the middle of the week and the end of the week. That will continue as we get into Thursday too. A little bit more breezy conditions for the afternoon on Thursday. That's when we'll really start to feel some cooler weather. Mid-80s for high temperatures on Thursday, which is still going to be plenty above where we should be for this time of year. And then by Friday, the cooler air arrives. We'll see mostly sunny skies. An area of low pressure comes down from the Gulf of Alaska. It's moving some cooler air right down into Washington state. We're talking temperatures Friday into the low 80s. So by the time we get to Friday, that'll be about normal for this time of year. As we kick off the upcoming weekend, boy, it looks like a nice one. Sunny skies and seasonal. We'll see highs again around 81, maybe 82 82 degrees. Light winds as we get into this weekend as well. It should be, as I mentioned, a very nice weekend on Sunday. Once again, another ridge of high pressure nosing into the Pacific Northwest. That's going to provide some just nice weather as we end our weekend on Sunday, with highs again into the low 80s. All right, your 7-day forecast going to be hot. 68 overnight tonight, 96 tomorrow with late afternoon breezy conditions. We're going to see breezy weather for Wednesday and Thursday as well. Excessive heat warning expires as we get into tomorrow afternoon. 85 then on Thursday with some breezy conditions, and then much cooler weather Friday, Saturday, Sunday with lots of sunshine and high temperatures in the low 80s. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
The pitch by Busich. The Wenatchee Apple Sox are back on the NCWLIFE channel. Watch as they take on the Kamloops North Paws on Wednesday, June 11th. Coverage brought to you by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Abby's Pizza, Apple Valley Honda, Biosports Physical Therapy, Coldwell Banker Cascade Real Estate, Global Car Care, Harvest Valley Pest Control, and Highlander Golf Course and Grill. Your exclusive television home for Apple Sox baseball is the NCWLIFE channel.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCWLIFE. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCWLIFE channel. Good Monday to you. The Mariners snapped a 5-game losing streak Sunday by salvaging the final game of a weekend series with the Angels, winning it 3-2. George Kirby had a career-best 14 strikeouts over 7 innings, while Randy Rosarina played a big part in helping the Mariners turn around what had been a bad weekend.
This is down the right field line, and a fair ball to the base of the fence. Julio looks no worse for the wear. He is flying around, lost his helmet, and he scores standing. Randy Rosarina. RBI double right away. The Mariners on the board, 1-0.
Taylor Ward with a fly ball to left. That's a no-doubter. The Angels are on the board in the 4th as Taylor Ward drives a 2-run homer.
Well, those swings, those power swings continue for Taylor Ward, and that conversation for maybe the All-Star game. 18 home runs, 45 RBI now on the season. Taylor Ward crushed that one. 107.5 off the bat like Trout did.
Into center field, base hit. Jorge Polanco has tied this game up. Rosarina is in. Garber pushes into third, and we are right back where we started. Into center field, dropping, base hit. Donovan Solano has just given the Mariners the lead. 3-2 in the 5th inning.
And you wondered if he was even going to be making his next start. And he just looks like a man determined today. His slider has just been excellent today.
And did Williamson? He pulled it down. Ben Williamson out of room. Ends the inning. He has done it all this series. Takes it away from Mitch Garver for out number 3. Fires. He got him. The slider puts Trout away and seals a win for the Mariners. A thriller in Southern California on a pretty historic day for George Kirby. The Mariners hang a W. They go 3-2 the final score.
Kirby said he felt early on that he had good stuff after 3 disappointing outings to start his season late after recovering from injury.
I mean, I felt real good before the game, just mentality-wise. Had a really good plan of attack with Garv and Woody. And yeah, after kind of that first inning, I was really spotting up, getting ahead. I was like, this is my freaking game, so I'm going to keep bearing down and keep going. So, being able to see some swings and misses, just command the zone, get my slider out of the zone. I think, everything was working really well today. So it's just a great sign just to, as I'm progressing through the season, making each start. So we needed a big one today, and hopefully, this sets the tone for us as we go to Phoenix today. And hopefully we keep rolling. It's always good, when you go out there, give your team best chance to win, after, a couple losses. So just super happy I was able to do my job today.
Seattle heads for the desert tonight to begin a 3-game series with the Diamondbacks. It'll start at 6:40 on Root Sports Northwest. Well, Seattle entered the weekend trailing Houston by 1.5 games and exit the weekend 2.5 games back. The Astros fell to Cleveland Sunday 4-2. Texas is 5.5 games back of Houston after downing Washington 4-2. Los Angeles is tied with the Rangers 5.5 games back as Texas, while the Athletics remain 11 games back after downing Baltimore 5-1. The Wenatchee Apple Sox returned from a weekend in Nanaimo, having won 2 of 3 games. The trip began rather dubiously with the Night Owls taking Game 1 7-3. Brady Bean led the way offensively with 2 hits. Jacob Taylor pitched the middle 3 innings to take the loss. Things went much better for the Apple Sox on Saturday with Nate Gray Jr. and Colby Holmdahl hitting home runs in a 9-4 victory. Gunnar Penscover pitched 3 innings to earn the first victory for him on the mound on the season. Penscover then had a 2-for-4 day at the plate and 2 runs and 3 RBIs Sunday in Wenatchee's 10-3 victory. Max Mendez got the start and went 5 innings, allowing 2 runs on 7 hits with 4 strikeouts to earn the victory. Apple Sox are back at home tomorrow night to Paul Thomas Senior Stadium to face the Kamloops North Paws. Game time is at 6:35. NCWLIFE channel will be out at Paul Thomas for Game 2 of that series. That'll be Wednesday at 6:35. Join yours truly and Brandon Schmitten with the play-by-play. Our pregame gets underway at 6:30. Well, Bellingham battered around in a 4-run second inning, went on for a 9-2 win over Edmonton in West Coast League play yesterday. Tanner Beltkowski, that's a good name for somebody to hit hard, was 2 for 3 with a leadoff spot and scored 2 runs for Victoria in the Harbor Cats' 6-1 win over Port Angeles. Kelowna scored 4 runs on 4 walks and a hit batsman and 2 hits in the 4th inning and went on for a 9-3 win at Kamloops. Portland is off to a 9-0 start after Jordan Lewis hit a walk-off 2-run home run to beat Marion Berries 5-4 at Walker Stadium. Josh Schleigert had given Portland a 3-2 lead in the 8th on a 3-run home run. Then Marion came back in the 9th to score 2 to take the lead before Lewis's heroics in the bottom of the 9th. John Paul Sauer and 2 relievers combined on a 3-hitter as Ben shut out Corvallis 2-1. The Knights are off to an uncharacteristically slow start at 1-5. Tyler Nelson's RBI double in a 4-run 8th inning capped the scoring and comeback for Cowlitz as the Bears beat the Pippins in Yakima 4-3. Billy Scald Ferry's 2-run home run in the bottom of the 7th proved to be the game winner for Walla Walla in a 3-2 win over visiting Ridgefield. Apple Sox, Bellingham Bells, and Kamloops North Paws are in a 3-way tie for first in the West Coast League's North Division after a couple of weeks, all at 6-3. Edmonton is a half game back at 4-2. Victoria is a full game back at 5-4. That's a check of sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a good Monday.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at ncwlife.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olsek. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great night.